Hi YouTube family, welcome back to Charmaine's Kitchen. A pleasant good afternoon to each and every one of you. As you can see, I couldn't wait to come outside and do this intro. It is so beautiful today, bright sunshine, nice cool air, and so beautiful like a summer day. So because it's so beautiful, I couldn't take this to myself. I just want to share it with you. And this is how the backyard is looking. As you can see, there's no snow, and it's time for us to start planting our seeds. So hubby and I bought some soil that we're gonna start setting seeds indoors. Once the seedling starts to grow and they become very nice and strong, and the weather is better than now, because some days in the April, May month, we tend to get some frost overnight. So we have to wait for it to really get nice and hot for garden weather. So let me show you guys how the backyard looks. And I'm gonna be preparing a recipe today. I feel like eating some stew gray snapper with some pumpkin roti. So stay tuned for that, but let me share how the backyard is looking. So right here on the side, as you can see, the soil is dried, and this is where we usually put our Corilla to run. And these were my old okra plant from last year, these two. And over here is the machan, or the bramble that my husband set for the same plant, and this is where we usually put our squash. We have these potting soil that we're gonna start the seedlings with, and here is all the other pots that I put peppers and herbs and things like that in here. And these are already coming out. If you notice, these are they're lily kind of plants. And over here is already dried, and I think the squirrel came in and dug up here for nuts. As you can see, our mints are usually back by now, but I didn't see anything, right? So this area here, we have some yellow flower. I can see they're coming out back. What is this here? This is strawberry.
It's a wild plant.
Okay, this looks like strawberry, but it's not. And it's so windy these days. The cover from my table, my outdoor table and chair, it's already blowing off. That's telling us it's time to remove them. So we have nice sunshine in the backyard. Hubby is sitting on the swing. I'm gonna sit outside for a bit, and then I'm gonna head on back inside and start preparing the dinner. This is my seasoned snapper. I marinated with some dried oregano, some cayenne pepper, and some green seasoning. It was left to marinate for over an hour. Let's start with our pumpkin roti. You want to steam your pumpkin until it is fork tender like these. You can cut them in bigger pieces or in any size that you wish. And I'm steaming mine over a pot of warm water and a colander. You can do it in a steamer, but for me this is the fastest way. Next, I'm gonna blend this up and puree it to a nice smooth texture. With a little bit of water and the steamed pumpkin, we're gonna puree this nice and fine. Let me see. I have my all-purpose flour here. We have some baking powder, some warm water, and I have my pumpkin puree. First of all, we want to add our baking powder. So after mixing in the baking powder nicely into the flour, we're gonna go ahead and add our puree pumpkin. And you want to mix this into the flour before you go in with any water, because this have a lot of moisture at the moment, and it's gonna make the dough nice and soft. So you want to get a feel of the dough before you add more, or get a feel of the mixture before you add any more water. So we're gonna start mixing in the pumpkin in here. So now that we mix in that nice puree in here, you're gonna go ahead and add your water little by little. And please don't forget to check out my carrot roti, I have spinach roti, cassava roti. I have so many different kinds, potato, dal puree, all kinds of different roti on my channel. So please remember to check those out as well. Knead the dough until all the dried flour come together nicely in one ball. So my dough is nice and soft, and as you notice here, you can see that I have a nice light yellowish color. The riper the pumpkin, the nicer the color will be. The dough is very, very soft at the moment, and we're gonna leave them to sit while I'm preparing the stew. So I'm making 5 roti here. And let's get down to rolling them off. So a little bit of flour on the surface, and then we're gonna roll this out nice and flat, and then we're gonna brush it with some ghee. You can also use any oil of your choice and some butter if you like. Or you can mix it with ghee and butter or oil and ghee, whatever you like. And then next, we're gonna fold these because the fold is very important when we're ready to clap or break these roti up. It's gonna have a lot of layers. So this is how I'm rolling them off. We're gonna let them sit until I finish with the stew, and then we'll come back to cook the roti. The more you fold the roti, you're gonna get the best flaky result at the end. We're gonna take our seasoned fish, and these are well unseasoned. Look at that. We're gonna lightly dust them in some seasoned flour as well. I seasoned mine with some dried seasoning. We're gonna shake off all the excess, and then we will fry these until nice and golden brown. We're gonna start frying the fish. The oil is nice and hot. We're gonna add 3 pieces at a time so we're not crowding the pan. I usually give the potato a quick fry to pre-cook them before I add them to the sauce of the stew. In this way, the potato will cook faster. So I have some fresh ingredients here for the stew. I have a nice big clove of garlic. I have white onion, purple onion, hot pepper, fine thyme. I have green onions, and I have some cilantro. I'm gonna finely chop these up to add to the stew. With just a little bit oil in the pan, we're gonna start frying up our onions. Saute onions for about 2 minutes or until it's translucent. For me, the stew is not a stew without some nice thyme. You can also add dry thyme or broadleaf thyme. It adds so much flavor to the stew. We're gonna add our green onions, hot peppers. We're gonna add about 2 heaping tablespoons of tomato paste. Now we wanna mix everything up nicely together and fry up our tomato paste with all the fresh ingredients. I just added some black pepper. Now I'm gonna go in with salt. We're gonna add some dried oregano. And if you don't have this, it's optional, you can skip it. Mix everything in well. Fry it up for another 1.5 minutes or so before we go in with the next ingredient. And my husband loves carrots in stew, so I'm adding my carrots now, and we're gonna mix in this nice flavor into that carrot. We're gonna add some boiling hot water to all this good stuff. So we're gonna mix everything in, cover this down and let everything simmer, married in well together, create a beautiful sauce. And then we're gonna go in back and add the additional ingredients to finish off this stew. So I'm gonna add a little bit of meat and fish seasoning in here. We're gonna give this a mix because we're cooking fish, so I'm adding a little bit of that. The sauce is looking really nice. I'm gonna go in at this moment and add my grated garlic. This is gonna enhance the sauce and give us a rich flavor. We're gonna go ahead now and add the fish to the sauce and the pre-cooked potato. We're gonna leave the stove on low heat so the potato can cook completely. The fish is already nicely fried and just need a few minutes in this beautiful sauce. And check out that stew. The color is just on point, and with the cilantro right at the end, it is so calling my name. Let's cook those pumpkin roti. Let's start making off our pumpkin roti, and I'm gonna start from the first one, and the color is coming through nicely. So we're gonna roll these off. So we're gonna cook these now on the tower. So we're gonna flip this, and I'm gonna add my ghee on top here, rub it all over end to end, and the roti is vibrant looking. And then we want to flip this over back on the other side like that, and do this exact same thing. And we're gonna flip this over again, allow it to cook a little on that side. And we're gonna cook this roti until it develops some nice little patches of brownness. That's when you know that the roti is fully cooked and it's not raw anymore and ready to eat. But of course you can cook it as brown as you like. So I cooked mine until it developed this nice brownness on the roti, and we are gonna go ahead now and clap this baby up right here, just like that. And then look, there you go. See, nice and flaky roti. The more you fold the roti, the nice and flaky the roti will be. So one down, I have 4 more to go. And my friends, here is my beautiful pumpkin roti. As you can see, it's going very quickly. And my stew gray snapper, you can have the snapper with rice or roti, anything of your choice. But I'm gonna dig in and let you guys know how everything tastes. So let's dig in. Before I dig in, I have a few shout outs. So I want to say happy belated birthday to Auntie Fazzy from your loving family, Uncle Mike, and your beautiful daughters and all the rest of the family. These greetings are coming especially from Rosanna Puranmal and her family, and from my family with lots of love. I would also like to say a happy belated anniversary to Sandra Mahadio and her husband. We wish you both good health, strength, long life, happiness, and prosperity. And I want to say thank you, Lord, for this food. Bless it, help it to be nutritious to my body, cleanse it, sanctify it, and bless those who don't have. So let's dig in for our pumpkin roti. And this roti I made on my channel before. Look how beautiful and effortless this roti is to tear or rip. And I have a sada roti version. I also have a paratha roti version. So I'm gonna go in for a little piece with my potato here. So Matthew's the big fan. Of, I have to say I am too with the potato in the stew or the curry. Cheers. Beautiful flavors going on here. The pumpkin roti is just perfect for the stew to grab up all that nice sauce, and we didn't cook stew fish in a very long time, so it feels like a treat today with this fresh cilantro on the top and all the good ingredients that I added. And my husband's favorite, along with Jessica, is the carrot, so I'm gonna take a bite for you guys with the carrot and the stew. So good. So guys, I'm gonna open up this fish and let's get a piece of this fish. Look how nice this fish is cooked. Seasoned fried snapper and then stew nicely. Look at that. This right here is my favorite. You guys know how much I love fish, and I can have fish every day of the week in my meals or on its own. So this big mouthful of gray snapper and roti is for you guys. This is a gray snapper that came from Guyana. Cheers. My mouth is having a party. If you didn't cook gray snapper stew for a long time, I hope I inspire you to do so. And if you never try my pumpkin roti, please remember to give it a try. Until then, I want to say take care, God bless. See you guys in my next video. Bye for now.